Hi, everyone. Mitch Holthus here, voice of the Chiefs. A reminder that our Fantasy Draft podcast is presented by Bud Light, the official beer of the Chiefs Kingdom. Now, it's time for your draft day drama.
The Kansas City Chiefs are now on the clock.
The Kansas City Chiefs, first round selection.
With the 15th selection.
With the 10th pick.
With the 63rd pick.
The Kansas City Chiefs have selected.
Welcome to our fifth and final episode of Chiefs Fantasy Draft. Mitch Holthus with you, voice of the Chiefs, or am I Brett Veach too? I've been in the last three episodes. Before that, I was Sonny Weaver Jr. from Draft Day, along with Matt Stat himself, Matt McMullen, Chiefs reporter. This has been fun in our fifth episode, but your team's put together, and I'll give you my team after this. Plus, hey, you know me, I like to make deals. I like to move and shake. I don't sleep. I think of these things while I'm in some other state, but let's go.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We'll peel behind the curtain here. We really went into this with a general concept of how this would go, and we're just kind of running with it and seeing how it goes. And this has been an absolute blast, wrapping up with defensive tackle and defensive end here in this one. So I'll run through my whole team really quickly. Episode 1, we did quarterback, punter, kicker, and head coach. So I have Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback. I got him. Lynn Dawson as my backup. Dustin Colquitt's my punter. Jan Stenerud is my kicker, and Hank Stram is my head coach. Episode 2, it was the offensive skill guys. So I got Jamal Charles at running back, Christian Okoye at running back, and Marcus Allen at running back. My running back room is pretty incredible. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, Carlos Carson, my two burners. Dwayne Bowe is my big-bodied receiver. And then tight end, I got Tony Gonzalez and Jason Dunn. Episode 3 was offensive tackle, offensive guard, and center. I got John Alt and John Tate at offensive tackle, Will Shields and Brian Waters at guard, and then center, I got E.J. Holub and Casey Wigman. And then episode 4, we went to the defensive side of the ball. At corner, I got Emmett Thomas and Dale Carter. Safety, Johnny Robinson and Tyrann Mathieu. And linebacker, I got Willie Lanier in the middle, Jim Lynch, and Derek Thomas. Feeling pretty good about my team.
Yeah, you got a nice team, but listen to this, okay? My head coach is Andy Reid. It's like the Canton, Ohio All-Stars here. My quarterback is Joe Montana, 4-time Super Bowl champion. Harrison Butker's my place kicker. Watch him win the next Super Bowl for us with a 54-yarder right hash. Not that I've been thinking about it. Gerald Wilson, Thunderfoot's my punter. Alex Smith is my backup quarterback to Joe Montana. Episode 2, Travis Kelce to completely wreck everybody else's defense. Otis Taylor at wide receiver should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Abner Haynes, look him up. One of the more underrated players in the history of pro football. Could do it all. I got a runner, I got a receiver, I got a returner. Priest Holmes, we know what he did, just amassing all those yards in the early 2000s. Fred Arbanis, hero, Super Bowl 4 and 1, great tight end. Joe Delaney. If Joe Delaney would have had more years on this earth, he would have been unbelievable. Chris Burford, underrated wide receiver, 14.5 yards a catch. Dante Hall, the human joystick, returner and receiver. Episode 3, my offensive line. Coach Reid wants the trenches. We gave him the trenches. Pro Football Hall of Famer left tackle Willie Roaf. At right tackle, Super Bowl 4 hero Dave Hill. Jack Rudney is my center to anchor that. Ed Buddy, Super Bowl 4 guard. And then Mo Mormon, who made the trap block on 65 TPT. That's what he's got. And then Tim Grunhard backing those guys up. Episode 4, you mentioned we went defense. Bobby Bell. Maybe, here we go. I mean, incredible player. Maybe the best defensive player of all time in Chiefs history. I know. But here's where you're going to get excited. If you were like an 80s Chiefs fan, the no-fly zone, early 90s that Coach Schottenheimer took over, Albert Lewis, Kevin Ross, Duron Cherry, Lloyd Burris, all on my team.
How did you get them all? I still don't know.
It's me, man. I'm Brett Veach. That's what I do. I move, I shake. I stay, I go. I'm here, I'm there. So Derek Johnson's my linebacker, along with Bobby Bell, and then Gary Speeney in the middle. I needed a mic. That leads us to episode 5, where now we go to the defensive trenches. Coach Reid talks about that again. But you got the first pick in this, right?
I sure do.
Is that what you got?
Yeah, first overall pick.
Yeah. I've had Riggle calling. I've had some others calling. But, hey. We got.
I'm getting a call here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Brett Veach too. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, Brett.
Hey, man, what's going on? How's Allie? You doing good?
Doing great. Just a little bit busy right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm busy too. So we got episode 5. Yeah, Allison's doing good. We got the kids. We're doing great, but we're in the middle of this draft. Episode 5. Hey, I was seeing what you wanted for that number 1 pick. I'd like to have the number 1 pick in episode 5. Just want to go there and see what you're thinking. How's Ellie doing? How's things good? You good?
Listen, man, Brett.
Yeah, we doing this, man? Are we doing this or are we doing this? What do we got?
Brett. You got me a few weeks ago getting the first overall pick, and what was it? Episode 3. It's not happening today.
It's history. It's like it's ancient history. It's the Mesopotamians.
Hey.
So what are we doing here?
Hey, my guy, no matter what, I'm not trading out of this pick.
All right. Some people just don't listen. All right. Here we go. Episode 5. Pick 1.
Well, and the reason I'm not trading out of this pick is because with the first overall pick in episode 5, I am taking Buck Buchanan. I can't trade him to you. I'm getting Buck Buchanan on my defensive line. He's going to anchor my defensive line. 13 seasons with the Chiefs from 1963 to 1975, 172 starts, 6'7", 270 pounds with incredible speed. You just don't find guys like that. Just a monster in the middle of this defense that cannot be contained. He broke up 16 passes along the line of scrimmage in 1967. You couldn't throw the ball against this guy because he'd get his big hands up and knock the ball down. He's incredible. He's a pass rusher, bats down passes. He does it all. Buck Buchanan, Pro Football Hall of Famer, is my first pick.
Bobby Bell might be the most underrated pick of all time in the 7th round. Now, keeping track, there's only 8 AFL teams at the time. But maybe the most underrated number 1 pick of all time, Buck Buchanan. You've done well. That's why I wanted to make the trade. But Brett couldn't get it done. I couldn't make the trade happen.
It is what it is.
And now you've got me in a little bit of a pickle. It's also I want to make the trade because this is a very rich round, where you having the 1-3-5 makes it a little tough on me because now you've got me in a little bit of a situation where I've got to move and shake. But I can't let Chris Jones get off the board. I wanted Chris Jones. Remember, we traded down to get him. We've got him. But when I look at this guy, he will be in the Ring of Honor someday. And if I'm looking at what he was able to do with his 15.5 sacks in 2018. But all you got to do is go watch Super Bowl 54. 4 straight stops, knockdown, 3 knockdowns there. Chris Jones, I'm taking him with my first pick in episode 5, the 2nd pick overall.
Yeah, you talk about those knockdowns. I was mentioning Buck Buchanan with the knockdowns, but yeah, Chris Jones, Super Bowl 54. I don't know what happened.
Seriously, Chris Jones, Buck Buchanan was Chris Jones before Chris Jones.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because you think about Super Bowl 54, we talk about WASP, we talk about all these different offensive plays in Super Bowl 54, but think about the 3 final defensive stands for this defense. I mean, if the Niners go down and score, it's a totally different game. I still have faith in the Chiefs offense. We would have won that football game, but the defense stopped them every single time. And Chris Jones was a huge part of that. So that's a great pick. Can't fault you for that one. For my pick, I'm going to go along the edge. I'm going to go with Jared Allen at defensive end. So Jared Allen, he didn't have a long career with the Chiefs. It was only 4 seasons, but it was prolific. From 2004 to 2007, 39 quarterback hits, 43 sacks, and 56 tackles for loss. He led the NFL in sacks in 2007 with 15.5. Now, the Chiefs traded Jared Allen, but he was the gift that keeps on giving because you think about the picks that they got for Jared Allen. I believe it was Brandon Albert and Jamal Charles. Those are the picks the Chiefs got for Jared Allen. So it was a bummer trading him away, but when you trade away players like that, you hope you can get picks that can turn into great players, and it worked out pretty well for the Chiefs getting Jared Allen. So that's my edge rusher there as you're getting a call here. Yeah. I'm going to go with Jared Allen at defensive end.
I like that, but I know that, hey, it's Coach on this one. Who's on this one? This is Keckner on this one. Keckner, I can't talk to you right now. I got Coach on. Right, who put this phone in my bag? All right. So T-Mobile, I think. So you've left the door open for me because I just called Coach because the door is open for us because the next guy on our board right there is Neil Smith. I'm going to take him at defensive end with the 85.5 sacks. Remember, he was the bookend for Derek Thomas, but great guy to match up with Chris Jones on my defensive front. So I'm going Neil Smith at defensive end because he's a bigger, he could hold the edge, but man, he could get after the quarterback. Nebraska Cornhusker fans, I know you love me right now because we took him, but I like Neil Smith, Chris Jones, bang, 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 bang in episode 5.
Ooh, can you imagine that defensive front? Neil Jones and Chris Jones. Or Neil Smith and Chris Jones. Now, I'm in kind of a predicament here because do I go Curly Culp? Or do I go a little bit outside the box and go Dontari Poe? Because Dontari Poe can play offense too, right? You can put him along the goal line, throw the ball to him.
I want to make the trade. You didn't want to make the trade.
He can throw the football. You know, I think I'm overthinking it though. I'm going to stick with Curly Culp along the defensive line. Parts of 7 seasons with the Chiefs from 1968 to 1974. 70 starts in that span. Pro Football Hall of Famer and a big part of the Chiefs defense in Super Bowl 4. Give me Curly Culp with my pick.
Pro Football Hall of Famer, but I'm going to stay at the defensive tackle spot because the next DT on the board is a guy that won a lot of games as a Kansas City Chief. Again, part of that incredible defense. Not one of the Pro Football Hall of Famers. Of the 11, there are 6, but not far away because Jerry Mays is going to be my defensive tackle to be lined up with Chris Jones. To me, there's a little bit of yin and yang with those guys. I think they're going to complement each other very well. So put Jerry Mays, famous for like that photo that you see in front of Municipal Stadium. Big motor, good guy. So we're going Jerry Mays, defensive tackle.
Okay, I like it. So I believe we each have one more pick left, right?
We do. This is it.
So I need to fill out my defensive end spot. I have Jared Allen on one side. Trying to think what to do here. I'll go Art Still. Art Still at defensive end. Number 2 overall pick in the 1978 draft. 10 years with the Chiefs from 1978 to 87. Huge dude, 6'7", 253 pounds, 73 career sacks. That ranks 5th in Chiefs history. Art Still, going to fill out my team.
You know how I do. I try to make it happen in the late rounds. Everybody gives up on these late rounds. They go golf or mow the lawn or something. Hey, we still work. Everybody you thought we were done last year in the round 7, right? You thought you were done. You and Holthus went walking. Boom, both Pete Keys. But let's think about Rashad Fenton in the 6th round. Talk about all the Super Bowl starts. Who made the first stops in Super Bowl 54? Who made the first stop on 3rd down to start all those stops? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Rashad Fenton, 6th round. Think about what we've done there, right? So we've made some money in these late rounds picking great guys. So the last pick overall of this 5-episode Chiefs Fantasy Draft, you took Art Still off the board. So my next best defensive end is Tamahalli, soon to be in the Ring of Honor. 90 sacks, 85.5 rounded up. 90 sacks, him on one side and Neil Smith on the other. I like it with Chris Jones and Jerry Mays in the middle. So like my group, and here we go. Let's play ball.
Let's play ball. So let's go over our teams here. This has been a lot of fun, Mitch. Like I said at the beginning, we really didn't know how this was going to go when we started this journey 4 episodes ago, but now we have our squads and I'll just run through it. So my offense, my starting offense, Patrick Mahomes at quarterback, Lynn Dawson backing him up. My running backs are Jamal Charles.
By the way, he picked first on that. Go back and watch it. I didn't pass.
He didn't pick Joe Montana over Patrick Mahomes?
No.
I wouldn't either. My running backs are Jamal Charles, Christian Okoye, and Marcus Allen. My 3 receivers, Tyreek Hill, Carlos Carson, Dwayne Bowe, Tony Gonzalez, and Jason Dunn are my tight ends. I have John Alt and John Tate as the bookends of my offensive line. Will Shields, Brian Waters, and E.J. Holub, he's my center. That's my interior offensive line with Casey Wigman backing those guys up. My defense, I have Emmett Thomas and Dale Carter at corner, Johnny Robinson, Tyrann Mathieu at safety. Then my linebackers are Jim Lynch, Willie Lanier, and Derek Thomas. And then my defensive tackles, Buck Buchanan, Curly Culp, 2 Pro Football Hall of Famers. My defensive ends are Jared Allen and Art Still. Dustin Colquitt is my punter, and Jan Stenerud is my kicker. I feel great.
You should feel great. That's a pretty stout defense that you've got there all the way through. So my head coach is Andy Reid, okay? So let's just start from there. That's the pebble in the pond like it was in real life when he took this job in January of 2013, like the first hours of 2013. All right, my quarterback is Joe Montana, backed up by Alex Smith. But you remember how that coach loves to have guys that he can move around, right? It's like bishops and rooks and chess. They can do so many different things. And my skill guys include Abner Haynes. Look him up. Joe Delaney. But I got a power runner in Priest Holmes. Travis Kelce is my tight end, along with Fred Arbanis. My wide receivers, Otis Taylor, Chris Burford, and Dante Hall. My offensive line is stellar. I got Pro Football Hall of Famers like Willie Roaf at left tackle, champions like Ed Buddy at guard. My center is Jack Rudney at center, backed up by Tim Grunhard. Mo Mormon is the guy that made 65 toss power trap block. I don't have to say anything more than that. Dave Hill, Super Bowl IV champion at tackle there. And then on the defensive side, my linebackers are Derek Johnson, Bobby Bell, Gary Spaney in the middle. My defensive line, just picked him across the board at defensive end, Neil Smith and Tamahalli. And then my defensive linemen are Chris Jones and Jerry Mays. And for the secondary, go find that Chiefs poster from like the 80s or early 90s because the no-fly guys are all back together again. Albert Lewis, Lloyd Burris, Duron Cherry, Kevin Ross, all on my team. My punter, Gerald Wilson, Thunderfoot. My place kicker, Harrison Butker, who will someday be on the Ring of Honor. And there we go, Matt. This has been fun.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I'm just thinking of matchups now in my head. So you have Joe Montana looking for Travis Kelce. Kelsey's being guarded by, who do we think here? Johnny Robinson, maybe Tyrann Mathieu covering Travis Kelce, while Neil Smith is getting after
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I can just imagine these things. It would be a lot of fun to watch it all play out. We got to get to EA and talk to them and make this a reality and see how this game would play out, because we could talk about this for hours.
And who's our two best gamers? Tyreek's going to be there.
Chris Jones, probably.
Yeah, him against Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Tyreek's going to have to take your team because he's on your team. Chris Jones is on my team. Who wants to see it, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is we close out, Matt. It's been fun. It's been great. Now we get ready for the real draft. The key to having successful drafts is you can't get enough phones, okay? Even if you get this little guy. So there you go. That's the key. Brett Veach has got phones. He's got them all working. But get ready for the 2021 draft. Can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. And I think what this whole exercise has shown us is, I think in 20 years, right now we're looking back on these teams in the 60s, right, and saying how great there were, all these Pro Football Hall of Famers. I have a feeling we're going to look back on the 2018, 19, 20, 21 Chiefs and go, wow, there's a lot of Hall of Famers on that team.
You got it. So here we go, Chiefs Kingdom. Get ready for the real draft. We've had fun with the fantasy draft.